Hello, my name is Jenna Baez, and today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial for the Nyx Face Awards 2012. Today I'm going to be using inspiration from a blue orchid, so we're going to be using a nice purples and blues and pearls. I hope you guys enjoy. If you want any more contact information on me or to view my portfolio, you can find me on www.facebook.com/faces46. Any feedback is greatly appreciated, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Okay, so the first step is going to be priming and moisturizing the face. It's very important to have a primed and moisturized face to start a clean canvas with. So today I'm going to actually be using the primer from Ruby Kiss. And I'm using this instead of NYX because unfortunately the store that I live close by that sells NYX doesn't carry the actual primer for them. But Ruby Kiss or whatever primer that you may have in your makeup kit is absolutely fine. So you just want to start priming, especially the eyelids, since that's going to be the main feature. And just blend it in, make it smooth. Okay, so the next step is going to be concealer. One of my budget-friendly concealers is called Coastal Scents. It's the Eclipse palette. It has 15 concealer shades. I absolutely love it. Highlighter, everything. So today, we're going to be using this color on Kaylee because it matches her skin tone more. So what I like to do, I like to just start and to dab just certain little areas that the client may want to cover up, any blemishes, sunspots, anything like that. And I always try to use a concealer that's at least 1 to 2 shades lighter because I'm going to go back in with a darker shade and just blend it all together. So right now, after making all our little dabs and our little blemish areas, we're just going to take our blending concealer brush, and this is just an e.l.f. concealer brush. Just a budget-friendly basic concealer brush that I really like to use. So after you successfully blend the concealer, you just want to set it with a mineral powder. And I am using one from NYX. It's just a basic white powder, black case. Can't really tell because I've used it so much so it's worn off, but it's one of my favorites. With the powder, you go back into contour. And today I'm going to be using a NYX loose mineral powder. I absolutely love this. It's a loose, here I'll open it so you can see it. It's a really fine loose mineral powder. I absolutely love it. It's perfect for daytime wear, whatever you may be going for, but it's one of my all-time favorites, especially considering it has SPF 30 in it, which is perfect for this Florida weather. So with the loose powder, you don't want to go too heavy. You want to make sure that you dab a little bit off because it is very fine. And we're going to use this as a contour. So just go right underneath the cheekbones in an upward stroke. And you don't want to get on the cheekbones. You want to get under them. Okay, so the next step is one of, I think, the most important steps is to fill in the brows. So I'm going to be using a brown color on her, and I like to use shadow rather than pencil. I just feel like shadow gives a more natural look rather than so harsh with the lines, but you can use a pencil, you can use a shadow, whatever you're most comfortable with. Today I'm just using one of my brown pigments from Coastal Scents. It's just the 88 matte palette, so I'm just going to be using that with my angle brush, of course. It is a must to use an angle brush when you're filling in your eyebrows. So you just go in, and I like to start from the outward in. And just lightly dab the shadow on the natural brow. Okay, so after filling in the brows, what I'm going to be using next is the Ultra Pearl Mineral Shadow. It's from NYX. It's like a loose powder mineral shadow. It's excellent. You can use it as a highlighter. You can use it as a base. And today we're going to be using it for both. So I just put a little bit in my cap, dab a little bit, the excess, and just get it in the creases of the corner of the teardrop. And then right underneath the brow bone. And don't worry if you get a little bit on the actual eyebrow. You can always go back in and touch it up with the angle brush. And I'm just going to go all over the lid. You want to go extra heavy on the brow bone and in the crease of the eye, but I'm going to dab it all along the eyelid because I am using this as my base. And then after, we're going to be using the Ultimate Shadow. This is the Ultimate Shadow. It's by NYX. Let me open it up. It's a nice, pretty blue color, little shimmer to it. So just use a little bit. You can use the same brush. I'm just using a blending shadow brush. And then you just dab that color right on the eyelid. And you can see because we use the loose mineral pearl powder underneath, you can see it coming through the blue shadow, which gives it that nice shimmery gloss and blends very, very well. And we don't want to get on the brow bone. We want to leave that how we have it. Highlight it with a mineral pearl shadow. Just dab along. After that step, we're going to be using the glitter from NYX. Comes in this little small tube. I love it. It's just a glittery blue color, and it's actual called glitter from NYX. And they come in these little small bottles, and I know it's tiny, but I've had this bottle for 6 months, so it lasts you for a very long time. And it's okay if any falls down. That's absolutely fine. It's glitter, so it'll come right off. And I just want to kind of dab it all along the lid because they'll contrast with that pearl and blue base that we put on there at first and make it really extra shimmery and blue and pretty. Okay, so all I've done is just clean up the area a little bit with all the glitter that we had loose all on the skin, and I just went in just with the silver highlighter and just dabbed it along the top of her cheekbones and around her eyes. And so the next step, we're going to be applying the purple. I'm going to be using the purple that's on my 88 matte palette from Coastal Scents, and I'm just going to dab a little bit on that just with a normal blending shadow brush. And their pigments are very strong, so what we're going to do is just take the purple and go on the crease of the eye, and then right like on the edge corners. And I am going to brush some of this excess off, so kind of use it like a liner, almost like a white liner rather than a liner pencil. Now we're going to go back in again with the NYX Ultimate Pearl Shadow with the same blue color that we used earlier. And you just want to dab it right on the center of the lid. Now I'm going back in with the purple that I used from the 88 matte palette from Coastal Scents. Just touch up the areas that I want touched up. And when I cut the corner, kind of do it at an angle a little bit. Kind of like you're trying to create a cat eye because you're going to blend it all in anyway. So then I'll really get that smoky effect that you want, that really nice blended effect. Okay, so after applying the shadows and blending everything in, I'm going to go in and apply the liner. So for the liner, I'm going to be using the NYX, it's number 901. It's just the black eye / eyebrow pencil. I just use it for the liner. But anyways, you just go in And I kind of like to pull the eye back a little bit. And then I just dab along the lash line. We're not going to do like a dramatic cat eye or a dramatic wing. We're just trying to give the eye a little more definition. So we're just going to glide across. Make sure there are no opening spaces. And it's okay, that doesn't have to be perfect because we can smudge it all in later. We try to get just this most even dabbed line as you can possibly get. And then I always have the client open their eyes, because once they open your eyes, you can really see where you need to touch up any of the liner. So I'm just going to touch up in the inside corners. After the liner, mascara and lashes. For mascara, I'm just using the Falsies Volume Express from Maybelline. Maybelline's a really good brand to use, budget friendly. I really love the brush, how it's at a curve. It helps you glide up on the lashes a lot even. So you start from the bottom and just kind of shimmy your way up. That shimmy move that I do when I'm applying the mascara, it just kind of helps pull that natural lash from the root and lengthens it as much as it possibly can go. Okay, so apply false lashes. I just put any false lash glue that you have at home is fine. Just put it along the edge of the false lash. And then you just dab it on there with some tweezers. And lashes are a little tricky, so you just want to get it as close to the real lash line as possible. So what we're going to do is just line the lips, the outside line of the lips, and then fill them in. And I'm using the NYX. It's the Doll Pink, number 839. Really nice pale pink color. Fill the lips in, you go back in with gloss. And today I'm going to be using the number 36. It's the Ballerina Pink gloss from NYX. Absolutely love it. It has shimmer. And then you go over that, over the liner with the gloss. And it just gives it that nice contrast with the eyeshadows that we used earlier. So after the lips, the last and final step is going to be the blush. Today I'm just going to be using the Coastal Scents 10 blush palette that I have. And I'm going to be using this nice bright pink. I know it looks really, really bright. The pigment is bright, but we're just lightly dabbing it on. And then you always have the client smile so you know where the apples of their cheeks are at. And it looks really, really bright, but we're going to blend all that in so it won't be as bright as it looks now. And there it is. That's the final look.